Chapter 3. The Hebrew Kabbalah and Egyptian Tarot. The word Kabbalah means traditional knowledge. It is the oral laws handed down from antiquity. Sacred books of various nationalities such as the Zend-Avesta, Vedas and the Bible are largely Kabbalistical. They record traditions that are capable of an inner interpretation. Whilst there are several divisions of the Kabbalah, this book deals only with the literal. This is so written that the letters, numbers and words must be transposed in a given order to arrive at the meaning. According to ancient tradition, the Kabbalah was first taught by God to his select angels. Then, after the fall, it was communicated to man. From Adam, it was passed to Noah, to Abraham, to the Egyptians, and thus to Moses. Moses initiated Aaron and the 70 elders into its secrets, but it was many years before it was committed to writing, the earliest known traces dating back to the 7th century. In the literal Kabbalah, separate ideas are represented by each individual Hebrew letter, which has a definite numerical value. There are only 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet, as compared with our own 26-letter alphabet. These 22 letters are divided into 3 groups. The first consists of 3 mother letters, Aleph, Mem, and Shin. The second of 7 double letters, Beth, Gimel, Daleth, Kaf, Pi, Resh, and Tau, so called because they have a double pronunciation. The third group being 12 consonants, He, Vav, Zain, Cheth, Teth, Jod, Lamed, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Zadi, and Quof. These last 12 are associated with the 12 signs of the zodiac and the 12 mundane houses of the horoscope. The linking of these letters and their equivalent numbers to the letters of the English alphabet will be shown later on. The word tarot means the royal path. In Egyptian, tar means path and ro means royal. In a similar manner to which the Hebrews constructed the Kabbalah, the Egyptians, in their turn, constructed the tarot. They devised symbols to represent ideological concepts and engraved these on plates. There were 78 of these plates made up as follows: 22 which later became known as the major arcana, 40 which became the minor arcana, and 16 court arcana. In the interpretation of the world horoscope and of world affairs generally, the 22 major arcana are linked with the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet, and there is an alignment with the 10 planets and the 12 zodiacal signs. Let me walk you through a vital correspondence table from Chapter 3 of the Hebrew Kabbalah and Egyptian Tarot. This table consists of 22 rows, each representing one letter of the Hebrew alphabet, paired with its corresponding number, major arcana card, and celestial association. Starting from the beginning, Aleph is number 1, corresponds to plate 1, and is linked to Mercury. Beth is number 2, corresponds to plate 2, and is linked to Virgo. Gimel is number 3, corresponds to plate 3, and is linked to Libra. Daleth is number 4, corresponds to plate 4, and is linked to Scorpio. He is number 5, corresponds to plate 5, and is linked to Jupiter. Vav is number 6, corresponds to plate 6, and is linked to Venus. Zain is number 7, corresponds to plate 7, and is linked to Sagittarius. Cheth is number 8, corresponds to plate 8, and is linked to Capricorn. Teth is number 9, corresponds to plate 9, and is linked to Aquarius. Jod is number 10, corresponds to plate 10, and is linked to Uranus. Kaf is number 11, corresponds to plate 11, and is linked to Neptune. Lamed is number 12, corresponds to plate 12, and is linked to Pisces. Mem is number 13, corresponds to plate 13, and is linked to Aries. Nun is number 14, corresponds to plate 14, and is linked to Taurus. Samek is number 15, corresponds to plate 15, and is linked to Saturn. Ayin is number 16, corresponds to plate 16, and is linked to Mars. Pei is number 17, corresponds to plate 17, and is linked to Gemini. Zadi is number 18, corresponds to plate 18, and is linked to Cancer. Quof is number 19, corresponds to plate 19, and is linked to Leo. Resh is number 20, corresponds to plate 20, and is linked to the Moon. Shin is number 21, corresponds to plate 21, and is linked to the Sun. Tau is number 22, corresponds to plate 22, and is linked to Earth. This system creates a complete correspondence between the Hebrew alphabet, numbers 1 through 22, the major arcana of the tarot, and the celestial bodies including both planets and zodiac signs. Divinatory meanings of the Hebrew letter combined with the major arcana. Hebrew letter Aleph number 1, Plate 1, Tarot card, the Magus, divinatory meaning, the conscious use of the mind and willpower, intellectual leaders, universities, the press, world trade and transport. Hebrew letter Beth, number 2, Plate 2, Tarot card, Veiled Isis, divinatory meaning, the possibilities of scientific development, industrial and agricultural trends, the health services, forces of law and order, the application of knowledge. Hebrew letter Gimel, number 3, Plate 3, Tarot card, Isis unveiled, divinatory meaning, international agreements, the marriage rate, laws governing marriage and divorce, regulations regarding company law, partnership, trade unions, employers' federations, cooperative movements. Hebrew letter Daleth, number 4, Plate 4, Tarot card, the sovereign, divinatory meaning, realization through effort, the fruitful outcome of applied science to the uses of chemicals, oil, steel, the effective use of nuclear energy, industrial, and from a military point of view, national rejuvenation. Hebrew letter He, number 5, Plate 5, Tarot card, the Hierophant, divinatory meaning, spiritual law, legal code, the authority of church, state, or established institutions, clerics, lawyers, prophets, expounders of new thought, evangelists, expansion of national fortunes, national lotteries, and finance. Hebrew letter Vo, number 6, Plate 6, Tarot card, the two paths, divinatory meaning, purity or passion, national and worldly morals, illegitimacy, wars of conquest, feminine emancipation, subjugation, seduction, social distractions, gambling, and the lure of easy money. Hebrew letter Zain, number 7, Plate 7, Tarot card, the Conqueror, divinatory meaning, conquest, national and international leaders, political, financial, commercial, social, sport, maritime interests, travel and exploration, missionary activities, publishing, national and international. Hebrew letter Cheth, number 8, Plate 8, Tarot card, the balance between attraction and repulsion, divinatory meaning, the economic seesaw in worldly affairs, the political give and take of world trade, national political changes affecting economics, the changing birth rate, acquiescence under dictatorship. Hebrew letter Teth, number 9, Plate 9, Tarot card, the Sage, divinatory meaning, world philosophy, evangelical revivals, religious coordination, international welfare organizations, courts of inquiry, the spirit of world brotherhood. Hebrew letter Jod, number 10, Plate 10, Tarot card, the Wheel of Fortune, divinatory meaning, major world changes, political, reigning monarchs or rulers, industrial upheavals, strikes, lockouts, automation, electronic developments, world agreements on work and leisure, universal space ideas, invention. Hebrew letter Kaf, number 11, Plate 11, Tarot card, the Enchantress, divinatory meaning, international scandals, extension of dope rings, regulation of narcotics, trade in slavery, influence of femininity, expansion of film, television and photographic techniques and propaganda, oil research and discovery. Hebrew letter, Lamed, number 12, Plate 12, Tarot card, the Martyr, divinatory meaning, world reaction, the effects of national disturbance, riots, insurrection, trade union disputes, national currency upheavals, laws governing prisons and hospitals, territorial fishing rights, conservation of saltwater species, the use of tidal power, world weather conditions. Hebrew letter, Mem number 13, Plate 13, Tarot card, the Reaper, divinatory meaning, changing world patterns, racial, economic, religious, lowered birth rates, increased death rates, extension of territorial and space exploration, world reforestation, sheep breeding interests, wool exchange dealing, national housing problems, steel production. Hebrew letter, Nun, number 14, Plate 14, Tarot card, the Alchemist, divinatory meaning, the world's harvests, world cattle prices, tobacco production and consumption, the production and utilization of leather, the mining and marketing of copper, the world of fashion, music and the arts. Hebrew letter Samek, number 15, Plate 15, Tarot card, the Black Magician, divinatory meaning, world depressions, famine, unemployment, cruelty and restriction, all antisocial activity, world spread of voodoos, black magic, decline of religious practices, decline in coal production, political despotism, international commerce. Hebrew letter Ayin, number 16, plate 16, tarot card, the lightning-struck tower, divinatory meaning, catastrophe or accident, world wars, terrestrial disasters, assassinations, explosions, military power, extension of armaments, international rivalries, epidemics in the animal world, foot and mouth disease, foul pest, anthrax. Hebrew letter P, number 17, plate 17, tarot card, the star divinatory meaning, world communications, national road and rail developments, educational qualifying standards, local governments, world relationships, intermarriage, etc. Conflict of differing national ideologies, use and misuse of intercontinental broadcast systems. Hebrew letter Tzadi, number 18, plate 18, tarot card, the moon, divinatory meaning, secret service, national police, Interpol, land, agriculture, forms of collective farming, land nationalisation, municipal housing, harbours, docks, maritime safety laws, regulations governing plant diseases, fertilisers, insecticides, radioactive soil pollution, land reclamation. Hebrew letter Quof, number 19, plate 19, tarot card, the sun, divinatory meaning, world culture, the world stock exchanges, gold production and prices, the arts, especially theatre, the welfare and education of children, United Nations childcare, royal births, periods of excessive drought, periodicity of sunspots and their effects, the death of kings. Hebrew letter Resh, number 20, plate 20, tarot card, the sarcophagus, divinatory meaning, the emergence of new states, growth of self-government, international rehabilitation, the navies of the world, inland waterways, international welfare of the aged, silver production and prices, strange psychic phenomena. Hebrew letter Shin, number 21, plate 21, tarot card, the adept, divinatory meaning, accession to leadership, temporal and spiritual, kings, queens, presidents, popes, etc. Prosperity cycle in mundane affairs, advancement of backward peoples, the exercise of authority benevolently. Hebrew letter Tau, number 22, plate 22, tarot card, the materialist or fool, divinatory meaning, moral turpitude in high places, royal and political circles, the spread of atheistical materialism, anarchy, lawlessness, the adoration of folly and vice, commercial avarice, destruction, physical, financial, political. Although the meanings given in this chapter are necessarily brief, they should be studied and memorized as they are of importance and essential to the full and correct interpretation of the world horoscope. By an imaginative association of ideas, these basic indications can be considerably broadened to cover every likely eventuality in accord with the country, a particular part of the world, or any given race upon.